The sky turned black, the stars fell down. United we stand, but we're losing ground. One world beneath the iron fist. Voices silenced, they cease to resist. Echoes of hope in the darkening night. Fading whispers of a long-lost life. Rise up, hear the call to arms. In this storm of chaos, we'll find our charms. Together we'll fight through the ashes and dust. A phoenix reborn in our hearts' purest trust. The sirens wail through the desolate towns. Once proud nations painted in the scars of the crown. A single army marching on our dreams. Unity forged in despair, or so it seems. Nothing left but shadows drifting away as the last embers of freedom decay. Rise up, hear the call to arms. In this storm of chaos, we'll find our charms. Together we'll fight through the ashes and dust. A phoenix reborn in our hearts' purest trust. One global army, together we stand. In the fall of the world, we'll make our last stand.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Into the Red Rabbit Hole. I'm Nighthawk, one half of your host tonight. I have Eric patiently waiting for me to get through my spew and all my venom and vigor out before we get into the thick of things. Let's do the copyright disclaimer and a few other things before we get into it. And our topic tonight is going to be the cosmic zoo theory, which is actually quite fascinating if you ask me. But then again, who's asking, right? All right, copyright disclaimer is this channel may use some copyrighted material without specific authorization of the owner, but contends that it falls under the fair use, which is the Copyright Act of 1976. Nighthawk High Strange, this podcast channel, and all the podcasts on the channel declare fair use of any and all content, including videos and music from other clips from other podcasters or channels, and news for the purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, parody, and let's not forget the entertainment value under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, otherwise known herein as the fair use. All right, that being said, The outro and the intro are sole ownership of Nighthawk Eye Strangeness and William Nighthawk, myself. They are my own creations, and nobody else can claim them in a copyright. So that being said, I'm going to take that down. And I have something I want to say real quick and real brief. I've been working on something for this Sunday. We're going to have the Supernatural Sunday again. It's going to be every Sunday, okay, where you, our viewing family, can come on and talk about your supernatural encounters. Anything from ghosts to angelic to demonic to whatever you think that falls in line with that kind of a show. And I've got a little surprise because I've been working on something, and it's strictly, it's theoretical, biblical stuff. I've kind of mentioned a little bit about it on my Facebook page. Not a whole lot, but I'll get into more details on Sunday morning. Tomorrow morning, I haven't really picked a show to have, but if we start out with one thing, I want to do something along the lines of UFOs and aliens tomorrow morning. And I want to get into the Travis Walton case. Okay. I've been researching that also, and that's very fascinating too. I wish I could get him to come on and do it that way, but I realize he's a very busy person. So, and very private. So that being said, this channel, and especially this podcast, guys, is primarily a way for us to come together and just talk about things, okay? Certain conspiracy theories, certain thoughts that we have that we can share, sitting around a table drinking coffee at midnight, you know what I mean? Or whatever time it is where you're at. To share each other's knowledge, okay? Because without that, we literally have no community, and we need to keep that going. I want to dedicate tonight to two individuals that we lost this week. First one was Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace. He'll be sorely missed. And my heart, and I'm sure everybody's heart, goes out to his wife and his two lovely children. And we pray that they have peace and comfort, okay, through this trying time. I know everybody's been very great about, except for a certain few. I won't even get into it right now, but a certain few individuals. But for the most part, the entire world is coming together and basically, upset over this whole situation. And then we lost another dear researcher and investigator, boots on the ground, smartest man that I've ever seen when it came to footprint casts and stuff. You put me and Eric and Dennis Carroll and Jessica Jones and D.A. Roberts and Rip Robbie Raines and even Doc and a few others together, and we couldn't even compare to what this guy knew. I just, Dr. Jeff Meldrum was a phenomenal person. Okay. And I spoke briefly with my brother, my good brother, Doug Hychek, earlier today. And, he's devastated, as all of us are, with Jeff's passing. And so is David Pilates from the Missing 411. He did a very nice piece on him earlier on a video. And it happened so fast with Dr. Meldrum that he's going to be sorely missed. And my heart goes out to his family too. And I pray that they have peace and comfort in this trying time too. That being said, we're going to get on with the show. And I'm going to bring Eric in here. I'm going to turn Eric's mic on. I know you can see him. He can probably wave at you guys and say hello that way too, but I don't think he knows sign language. Well, he might know one thing in sign language, but we're not going to make him do that. Oh, all right, brother. How are you doing?
Dude, I am tired today.
Yeah, you just got off of work too, so that's why. But yeah,
13 hours in the heat laying hot mix down. It drains
Hmm.
you. Hey Jessica, yeah, it drains you. So sadly, I don't
yeah,
get
yeah, it
paid for it
does.
because it's a learning deals for this promotion I'm looking at trying to get. So I didn't get paid for that 13 hours of work, but yeah,
Are
13
you
hours
kidding? They didn't even buy you
because it's
lunch or
training on
anything?
a day off. He bought me lunch. That's only because my wallet fell out of my lunchbox.
Oh my god.
I don't get paid for extra
Man,
training
we
my
got to
days
talk
off.
about your negotiation skills, brother.
It'll be worth it
Oh,
to a degree. It'll be worth it because I'll go from a pay grade 8 to a pay grade 13. Hey Kathy,
oh
but
yeah.
the downside to it is I work a lot of hours now. I'll be working a lot more hours if I get in.
Cool. Cool. Well, we're going to get into the whole subject tonight. I'm glad Jessica's in the chat too, because we can pick her brain too on her thoughts. If she wants to come on, that'd be fine too. We can put a link in the chat for her to come on. Um, but, the whole cosmic zoo theory, I've been doing a lot of thinking about that lately. And, it makes sense. And I've been thinking a lot about the Norse, aspect of it, with the 9 realms and Odin and all that, and how we never really thought about this. I mean, everybody knows the flat Earth theory and out there, but I'm not a firm believer in that. There is literally, a flat Earth, like the side of a quarter, Um, but I do believe that we have a certain type of a world that we live in. And I do believe that there are 9 basic realms or worlds, that could be intertwined within, whether you call it a portal, gateways, whatever you call it. The Bifrost is what they called it. In your Yeah. So I mean, there is that connection, and I started looking at it as a cosmic zoo type of a theory, and it kind of makes sense because the cosmic zoo theory type of a thing is like the ice wall that would be around us, would be like the barrier wall to contain the wildlife within a zoo. Okay, like a lion's area or a rhinoceros area or an elephant's area. They have the big concrete walls that the lions can't get up and crawl over, um, or any other kind of wildlife. And we're kind of like in that same boat, literally. It's just fascinating to me how far we can go with this subject, and this theory, because when you talk about it, all the interdimensional travel that we see and all the different crafts that we see in our skies and in the space above us, um, they got to be coming for some reason, and then you theory that the missing people and the cattle mutilations and stuff in between, kind of maybe like tranquilizing a lion to pull a tooth out or something. You know what I mean? You could be literally scientific research, and we're the wildlife. What do you think about that?
So that's actually interesting. It's not really Bifrost that connects the 9 realms. It's oh my god, I'm so dehydrated I can't even roll my R's. Yggdrasil, the tree of life that connects the 9 realms. Bifrost is just a way that the Aesir and the Volnir could travel from the 9 realms. So you got that aspect right there. You got Yggdrasil, which connects the 9 realms. Uh, you've got animals that live within that. So yeah, I can see where that kind of fits in.
It kind of be like multiple domes with multiple zoos. You know what I mean? Is what my thinking is.
Yeah.
You know, if that makes sense to anybody. I'm just curious to see what everybody thinks and what Jessica would think.
But
Especially when you got
that's
characters
also
like this showing up out of nowhere.
Mhm. It's also interesting because each of the habitants of the 9 realms look different than the others. You know, just saying.
Yeah, which could be different regions of a zoo, you know, different, you know, like they have the African animal section or, you know, the Australian animal section, you know, the reptilian section, you know. What if it's actually literally set up like that? And what if the gatekeepers, the people that were actually watching and observing this part of the cosmic zoo were located in Antarctica?
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, there's a lot hidden there. I'm not sold on the ice wall theory yet. I can see where people's coming with it. I'm just not convinced on it yet because it doesn't support a lot of stuff. Only supports a few things. So I'm not convinced of the ice wall itself yet. I'm still teetering on that subject myself. Now, that's not to say there ain't something strange in Antarctica and there ain't stuff hidden, and there's not. There's probably a ancient civilization there. Absolutely, I can see that, especially the spots that's blurred out. And the fact that they talk about
Mhm.
seeing trees and stuff like that there. I mean, could it be last remnants of the prehistoric times? Possibly. Could it be something else? Also possible.
And
As
that's
far as
funny
the
you
ice
said
wall,
prehistoric times. That's funny because I found this too, and this is interesting. I don't know if you guys will be able to read it, but this was actually off the coast of Massachusetts, um, back in history a little bit. Back in I think it was 1817.
yep.
Let me get my spectacles on. I don't know if you can read that, but it says
In the
in the
summer of
summer.
1817,
Yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
In the summer of 1817, hundreds of people, including sailors, clergymen, and magistrates, all witnessed the same thing: a giant 60-foot long sea serpent swimming in the harbor of Gloucester, Massachusetts. The mass sighting became one of the most credible, and I can't read the rest because of the banner.
Banner. Became the most
Uh,
credible and
credible,
famous
famous
monster
monster
accounts
accounts.
in American history. Yeah, and I mean, you know, and that's just funny how you brought up the you know the prehistoric thing, because that literally kind of just solidifies how these things pop up periodically, you know, and are seen periodically, you know. So like McCullough Mabende in the Congo, you know, of Africa, or how about in Peru? They have the raptor-like dinosaur that's been seen running down there. So
Look at Georgia.
what? Yeah, what if there are certain species still here that are isolated and they're just part of the cosmic zoo?
Yeah. Um, Wizard brought up a good point. Um, well, let me find it now. Oh, I'm sorry, not Wizard. Jonocide brought up a good point. He says, I love Antarctica, but everyone is sleeping on Greenland, which is a good point because Greenland, when it was founded, it's actually covered in ice. But they believe that is the realm of the gods. They swore that the gods roam those lands. So, I mean, I can
I've
see his
also
point on
heard,
Greenland.
yeah, I've also heard theories though, Eric and Genocide, that basically Greenland isn't really the original Greenland where it was located previously, that it was further north from its current location. So, and that was the place of the gods. I mean, there's so many different ways we can go with this whole cosmic zoo type of a thing. And I'm literally wanting to hear everybody's opinion on it. And if they want to, even if they want to come on for 10, 15 minutes to let me know their opinion, that's fine with me. They can come on.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
No,
strange.
no guarantees, Carl. No guarantees.
Yeah, see, I had Urso's comment up here a minute ago. In case I thought I did. If I didn't, sorry, it's up now. I don't know. I can't support that. Um, I'm sorry. I can't. That's reaching really really far out there. But that's for me. That's just my opinion. I can't. I cannot support that.
Yeah, that is true, though, from what Corey says, that the constantly they are moving, and that's the proof of that is the whole. Hey, Soundwave, good to see you. Marcy, good to see you. Bounty, good to see you. Um, the whole proof of that literally is just look at all the fractures in the ground that they're finding all around the world from the Earth tectonic plates moving and stuff. So of course, masses are being separated and moved quite a bit lately. So which falls in line with something on Sunday morning's show, guys. So just bear with me.
A lot of people fail to understand how the bottom of the ocean actually works. People think it just sits there and does nothing. Hey, heifer, they're absolutely wrong. So what happens is you got the bottom of the ocean here, you got a landmass here. That bottom of the ocean is constantly going under the landmass. A lot of times it gets shot up as volcanic lava when it's done, but it's constantly being moving under the landmass. So you got the ocean that's sitting here and landmass going over it. It's constantly changing. The ocean floors that we know today is not the same as when the Templars roamed the ocean. It was completely different back then than what it is now. It's constantly changing.
I saw Soundwave had a question there about the dinosaur in I believe it was Africa in the Congo, and I just answered that.
Yeah, Maloka Bimbe.
Yeah. And I'm gonna put a picture up too, guys. I want you guys to look at this. This is literally a trail camera picture, and this shows you how different certain things can be, whether it's natural process of evolution, or whether it's actually genetically manipulated. But this picture is a trail cam picture, and it was not manipulated in one way, shape, or form, or no way. Okay, this is a legitimate trail cam picture. Okay, if I can get it to pull up here. What is going on? Now I lost all my pictures. Come on.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was hitting at there, Corey. Absolutely.
There we go. Okay. All right. I want you guys to look at this. Okay. This is a coyote. Okay. This is literally a coyote. This trail cam picture was taken on the East Coast, by the way, along the Appalachian Trail. I want you to take a good look at that coyote. Okay. This picture was not manipulated in any way, not at all.
I was drawn to a certain section of that coyote and didn't look at the full picture and automatically jumped to a conclusion before I looked at the full picture.
This was literally on a stealth cams site. And this is the first picture. This is the second picture of it approaching the trail camera. So that shows you that it is literally a coyote. Okay. Now, is this possibly genetic manipulation? Is it some kind of, like mutation? I mean, it very well could be, I mean, it's hard to say, but I find it completely fascinating that this form of wildlife, this coyote, has this coat that literally it looks like a snow leopard. It literally looks like a white lion or a tiger. I mean, um, it's amazing the difference in the coat. But this tells you right here that it would probably make perfectly logical sense to outside of this world visitors visiting a cosmic zoo here, because you have mutations like this happening practically every day and new species being found every day. So I almost thought that
And
this was,
only
yeah, like a
go ahead.
thylacine. That's what I was thinking. And that's what Eric was thinking too.
Uh-huh.
Like it was genetically mixed. But that's just, my opinion. But this is a real legitimate trail cam picture. And it's amazing. It's literally amazing.
If we go to the scientific side of it, the only way that I can scientifically, hey, Unreal, describe what's going on with that is that is a cross between a domesticated dog and a coyote. Where you get
That's
that
the only thing
stripes.
it could be. Yeah, it's the only thing it really could be, in my opinion, because other than that, it's genetically manipulated, and we all know
Yeah.
how that goes with the whole UFO alien belief as far as abductions go, and and in fact, get a little bit, not to get a little bit off course, but I was watching an interview before um, Betty Hill passed away, and they were the first reported abduction up in New England at the time. Her and her husband Barney, and she was saying that Barney had a rough time with the alien abduction. He didn't, he was freaking out and stuff. Whereas she was carrying on a conversation with them, very pleasant and very, open to, experiencing what she was experiencing. So I found that very, very unique that she would say that it was a pleasant thing. Maybe, just maybe, it was kind of like people driving through a petting zoo and rolling down the window and feeding the wildlife out of their hands or out of a bucket. You see those videos periodically. Maybe that's what they experienced. Maybe they weren't the ones that come in, abduct you, take your DNA, mess with your DNA, abduct cows and cattle and stuff and wildlife and remove their lips, their reproductive organs and stuff like that for scientific research. Maybe they just got lucky and got the drive-through type, if you know what I mean. Like here's Earth, we're flying in our UFO all the way to Earth, and make sure your windows are up and your doors are locked, because you never know what you're going to experience on Earth. And here they come into the cosmic zoo. Maybe it was that kind of a thing. I don't know. I know I'm making light of it, but still, the whole theory of it, it's like when it was first reported how tragic it was and all that she experienced, and how her dress was ripped, and they did this certain needle thing to her and stuff through her navel and all this other stuff, and now it's turned into this pleasant experience. I just you don't know which end of the story is right and which end is wrong. So it would make sense that if we're in a cosmic zoo and experiencing what we're experiencing, that they would switch it up every now and then, like the theme of a soap opera, and pitting certain aspects of the world against each other, and seeing what the outcome would be, because it's like two different species of ants fighting for the anthill. You know what I mean? Just sit back and observe it, because it's the cosmic zoo. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to say, but I'm the type of guy, I've got to look at all aspects. What is the possibilities of this? How can I explain this? When I can't explain it, that's when I really go, "Arr?" Because I can't find no explanation in the world.
I've been making that sound for a
Sound
long
wave?
time now.
Sound wave, that is actually interesting, and I'd like to see the stuff on that. Yeah, I mean, there's so many possibilities out there, and I can't discredit a lot of them. Some of them I can, but I don't. I'm one of those people. I'm always going to be a 99%er. I can believe in something 99%, but always leave 1% for could be something else. I'm never going to say I'm a 100%er because I could be wrong. I could be wrong on several things. That's why I always say I'm a 99%er.
Well, I agree. But when you have reports of this being seen, and reports of this being seen, and reports of this being seen,
Yep.
kind of makes you think maybe we are living in a cosmic zoo, literally.
I think so, Corey. Yeah, I mean, and at the same time, I can still go. That's AI. So I mean, it's nothing 100% definitive. Nice picks. Somebody got some great picks. I'm never going to say I'm 100%er because there's always room for error.
Still doesn't take away from the theory, though.
No, not at all. And that's what people don't understand is that's what I love is the theories. Because, hey, Robin, with the theories, that's how we come to figure out the truth. Now, some theories are way out in left field. I mean, they really are way out in left field. I still got to put them in there, even though they're out in left field, because it is a theory. So until we can prove that theory is falsified, it's a theory. It's like I tell people all the time: build your own opinion, your own theory, and your own hypothesis, and put them all together and test them, and that's how you come out with the truth. Hey, Sue.
Uh-oh, you better watch yourself there, Eric. Roxanne's a red belt in Taekwondo, and she's got some judo training.
She's a black belt in loser chomper munchers.
Oh, man. That's not right.
I couldn't
Get
resist
him,
on that
Roxanne.
one.
Get him, Roxanne. Get him.
She's gonna try, but I'm too damn tired to give a crap.
Anyways,
I'm literally fighting sleep.
I like what Bounty's been saying, and she's been bringing up a lot of good points, and Soundwave too. I don't think you guys are that far off. You really aren't. I don't think any of us are far off when we talk about this subject, because you can even incorporate the prison planet theory as far as the cosmic zoo, literally. So I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's fine. Carl, I have a black belt too. I wear it every day that I wear my jeans. Just saying. Jumper. I'll give 97 black belt and jumper muncher cry. Taekwondo. Oh God. I still wear a rigger's belt from the military. So a lot of people don't know. Shortly after I went into the military, in Marine Corps, we're taught mixed martial arts. So they started shortly after I joined the Marines. They started implementing the belt system, and what color belt you wore is what degree of mixed martial arts you were in. It does too, Carl. I don't care what you say. Deliver my package, Carl. Don't talk about my belt. Black belts' lives matter too. By God.
Oh God, here we go. Here we go. Come on now, guys.
But,
Eric is tired.
Yeah. But no, I mean and that's what I love. Like I call mine my guest. I call my Bigfoot my guest. Do I believe in Bigfoot? Absolutely, I believe in Bigfoot. I mean, I'm sorry, there's stuff out there, but even with Bigfoot, hey, Josh, even in Bigfoot, I'm still 99%er because I believe that there may be one type of Bigfoot, but we're misclassifying other types that we're putting into the Bigfoot community. So I'm a 99%er. You got to have your theories. You got to build upon them. We got to talk about them.
And that's why we put on these shows here. So,
yeah.
But yeah, it's, and it is what it is. Everybody's going to have their own theory. It doesn't mean any of us are wrong. It just means we got to figure out how to connect them,
Yeah.
So.
Like how many times we talked about our theories have changed throughout our lives,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've never have been a Bigfoot cloaker or Bigfoot phaser or none of that, and I still am not. I believe that they did camouflage well. Well, I've changed mine from just camouflage to adaptive camouflage because it makes sense. It fits with the hair follicles and everything else. It fits. So, I mean, my stuff is always changing. It's just I went from one type of camouflage to another. Now, I used to believe that there was only a certain type of UFO because that was the only one I've ever seen. Until I seen with my own eyes that there's different types. Well, it changed because, with my own eyes, I've seen different types. I never believed.
My favorite type of UFO that was taken back in the 1960s was the photograph of somebody taking their metal trash can lid and throwing it up in the air.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, so look at it this way. I was never a believer that Bigfoot could speak any type of known word that we know until I heard the Sierra sounds. And then once I heard that, I started believing, okay, there could be something to this. Then when I caught them speaking two different native languages right off my front porch, I'm sorry. My opinion has definitely changed to they can speak a type of language.
But where do you think that they fit into the whole cosmic zoo theory type of a thing? Were they originally from here? And all these other cryptids, were they transplanted here from other dimensions or other galaxies or whatnot? I mean, a cosmic zoo is a cosmic zoo. You're not going to have all of them here terrestrial.
Yeah, not all of them, but stuff like Dogman, Bigfoot. If we're talking cryptids, let's say possibly Lizard Man, but I think that's kind of a two-way street. I think some of them were natural from here, others were implanted here. So in the cryptids, it's a hit and miss. I believe some were originally here and some were brought here.
Where do you think this plays into the whole thing?
That's supernatural. That's 100% supernatural right there.
Good man. All right. I agree 100% with that.
I'm sorry. History proves that one.
Yep. I agree 100% with that. Where do you think these ones play into it, Eric, and everybody in the chat?
That's definitely extraterrestrial. I do not believe it's terrestrial. I believe it's extraterrestrial. Hey, Daryl.
Interesting. What about the rest of the chat? What do they say about the grays? even the tall grays. Where do you all think that they lie into the whole cosmic zoo type of a theory? Corey, good one, yeah, demon or archon is what I would call them. But that's just me. Anybody else? Yep. There you go, Marcy. Archon Gray. Yep.
Now, could they
And
be like a drone? Possibly. I'm not one of them drone guys like everybody thinks that those are a drone.
mm-hmm.
But I can't discount the possibility of them being a drone. I just don't.
Right.
I just don't subscribe to that.
Right. All right. Well, now, as far as the whole theory of a cosmic zoo, you would need zookeepers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, would you incorporate yourself if you were an extraterrestrial race or a superior race to come down amongst the wildlife to sample their DNA or to check on them medically wise, or would you send in a pawn that is capable of withstanding um, being frightened by the wildlife in the zoo? Okay. Like the gray, and I think that the gray are literally the assistant zookeepers. I really do, and that's just my belief, in this theory. And we're
Could be.
talking this whole theory. This isn't something that I abide by every day of my life, But as far as this theory goes, I would have to say that maybe the grays are literally the assistant zookeepers, assisting the men in black, maybe the overseers, of keeping and maintaining the zoo in some way, shape, or form.
I believe that's possible. I don't think we're terrestrial. I think we're extraterrestrial. I don't think we're terrestrial. Too much of our makeup suggests that we did not come from this planet. I'm sorry. I mean, and that's scientific DNA, whatever you want to call it, broke down. I don't think we're terrestrial. I think we're extraterrestrial. Even the stories of our ancestors said we did not come here, we come from the stars. And that is a crap ton of our ancestors that said the very same thing. So,
here's something.
Are we workers or are we?
Here's something that Jacques Vallée, the famous UFO guy, thinks about aliens and all that too. And he stated, in public, Now, why would he say something like that if it wasn't either a prison planet or a cosmic zoo? What I'm just curious to know what he knew.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be interesting. I mean, I think that us humans, we're either the janitors for them, or we're the ones that's doing the grunt work for them.
Shit,
What
man,
did he know? If they weren't aliens,
we're the ants in the anthill, man, and they're the boot.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm a firm believer they created us and put us here. I don't think we're naturally from here. I mean,
didn't somebody,
like I said,
I can't remember who it was science wise, but several years ago, that somebody came up with the belief that we came from Mars and came.
That's because we got a lot of Martian stuff in us. Yeah.
So I can't remember who the scientific agency was, or who the scientist was, but they came up with that. But I'm going to have to research that a little bit more in depth.
Yeah,
and see what that is.
I can't remember either. I just know a lot of what they talked about, and a lot of stuff in ancient cultures really fit with the Anunnaki deal. I mean, that's just, I'm sorry, but it does. It fits very nicely together.
Well,
Of course,
my belief is that Enlil might even be a representation of Odin or even
yeah,
Zeus.
yeah, absolutely. And we could throw biblical stuff in there. Until the fall of the Tower of Babel, we spoke the same, thought the same, worshiped the same, looked the same. We were the same. It wasn't until the fall of the Tower of Babel that God split the tongue and split the people. Is that why all our beliefs are the same at the core value? I personally believe that is what it is.
Good question, Jonaside. So who's on Three Eye Atlas coming here on Halloween?
I'm not a subscriber to that right now. I think that's just an asteroid myself, but I could be wrong.
I guess we shall see.
Yeah, we'll see. What's up, Dwarf? Salute. But yeah, as far as that thing goes, that's to me that came with that. It screams asteroid.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they say that there's so many things coming our way, and it's funny how Jonaside brought up the Three Eye Atlas because that's actually going to be something we're going to discuss on Sunday also, because of the radical thinking of my brain and the supernatural aspect of things. Um, so trust me, you guys don't want to miss Sunday. Um, it's going to be a trip. So
That's a good point, Joanne. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm going off images. I don't believe what mainstream tells us, and to me, it's an asteroid. We'll see. That was a good point, Joanne. I can't trust anything that organization says.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm still reeling from the loss of Jeff Meldrum too, by the way, guys. So and I'm getting a little bit burned out because of that whole thing with what happened earlier in the week too, before Jeff's passing. Um, so I guess I got affected by Jeff's passing because of my own current situation with the mass on my brainstem. And how it's inoperable, they say. And I guess this one of these days, I'm just not going to wake up, and, I hope and pray that I go as fast as Jeff did. I really do. I hope he didn't suffer. Um, but it's and I'm sure if Melissa's in the chat tonight or not listening, she can tell you guys, anybody that's a cancer survivor, even Marcy can tell you that when you go through having what happened to Dr. Jeff Meldrum and several of us, um, it's there's no words that can describe what you go through, literally. And it almost makes us connected in a more ways than normal would be. You know what I mean? It connects us in a way that it goes a lot deeper. Being going through cancer and stuff. So forgive me if I am not as talkative tonight as I normally am because it hit me pretty hard with his loss. So, and of course earlier this week too. So um,
Soundwave's got a. What the hell just happened? Okay, good. I didn't get lost. Soundwave had a good question here, and yes, all three of those plus gray and white have been reported as well.
yeah.
Crap. Um, I think I'm caught up on the chat now. Sorry, guys. Um, yeah, just a lot of bad stuff going on. But I forgot what I was talking about now. No, it was.
Sorry, I got to read something here real quick. Let me see what it's coming up. Something popped up here.
Crap.
How many of you know that there's a Nighthawk radio out there? And I'm not talking
Okay.
I'm not talking like an electronic device. I'm talking about a radio station that calls itself Nighthawk Radio.
You getting royalties off of that?
No, I wish. I messaged him earlier, and I just got the message. Seth, it's okay, bro. I'm just teasing you. But yeah, it's funny. Nighthawk Radio. Well, I guess if I'm going, that's the best way to go. At least you all remember me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just now found out why William Nighthawk can't go live all time because he's busy with his radio channel.
Yeah. Wish it was my radio channel.
You said Nighthawk Radio. I say, oh. Hey, Camel Dad, you deserve this one.
Oh man.
Hey,
So do you
make me wear out what button?
Do you think that that all the crafts and stuff that we're seeing are basically coming here to observe us like a zoo, or do you think that they're actually part of the zoo, to say the least?
So I believe there's two types of crafts. You have extraterrestrial and terrestrial. Now, the extraterrestrial ones, I believe they're either here for either observing, cataloging, scientific, breeding. The list goes on of the reasons why they could be here. Yeah. And so I believe that it's not just one directive. Depends on who they are is what their directive is. Personally, that's just mine. So I don't have a sound for that, Roxanne. Maybe hold on.
You got a Pac-Man sound?
Here, hold on. That's about the closest I got for you, Roxanne. Oh, that's just my opinion. Carl, definitely extra special with a side of special sauce.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious though, if we are a cosmic zoo, what are they charging these outsiders to come visit us?
Well,
And
something that I always believed. What was that?
Do they sell a season pass?
Yeah. I've always been a firm believer that our government or governments are involved with them being here in one fashion or another.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And with the latest whistleblower stuff that comes out, leans to that very same purpose there. That's
Right.
my opinion. I believe that some of them are here per the government's request for whatever deal they're making. Um, some of them are just saying, screw your rules and regulations. I'm coming anyways.
Yeah. True. True. You got at some point you got to figure that there has to be some kind of human control in the whole cosmic zoo theory, and
Mm.
whether it's a certain bloodline or not. And the one bloodline that's coming up a lot more frequently lately than normal is the Enlil bloodline, which the current president has been his bloodline has been linked to the Enlil line, um, as far as being a descendant. So, and if that's the case, you can link that line to what it says in the Sumerian text about him being a jealous God, and how it says the same thing in the Bible about God being a jealous God. You know, kind of the same thing. So we're my concern with the whole thing is it's like everything has been totally just mashed together and confused and made multiple times more difficult to unravel and to solve, because the human part that is actually in control of a lot of the stuff, if we are Cosmic Zoo, has separated nations of people through language, religion, education, social status, and so on, um, even color of skin. They seek to keep it separated, like they don't want certain things to be disclosed about us possibly being a cosmic zoo. Because if we all spoke the same language and we all thought the same, maybe we would wake up enough to realize that the world that we're living in maybe not is the quote unquote Eden that it was supposed to be.
Damn, I don't have good sound for that. Uh, yeah, I mean, I don't think Garden Eden was described where we know it to be. I really believe it was here. But I'm not going to sit there and also say that when I was a kid, I didn't think it was on another planet.
Mm.
You know, I've always, before the whistleblowers even came out about it and then the scientists came out about it, I've always been a believer that we never came from here.
So, based on that theory, then who would the Garden of Eden been? Who would have been in the Garden of Eden?
A different life form.
So, Adam and Eve would have been Bigfoot.
Could have been Knack, could have been giants. I mean, you listen to the description, what we thought oh my gosh, I forgot what the measurements were called. Cubics was a lot bigger than what we originally thought they were. If that's the case, then that put Adam and Eve around 40 to 50 foot tall.
That's a big boy and a big woman, that's for sure.
Yep. I can't say what I want to say because we're on YouTube and I don't have a bleeper. All I can say is that's a huge beep. There we go. That's about the best way
Hold
to
on.
do that.
I got to put something up there if you're going to talk like that. Hold on. Let's see here. Parental advisory is now up.
Ladies and
All right.
gentlemen, boys and girls, if you have kids does not like dirty language, be advised in 5. You're going to want to cover their ears in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's a huge bitch.
Oh God. Uh,
But no, I mean,
breaking
and that
news.
makes sense because I mean, look,
Breaking
look
news.
at the
Breaking news. That was a huge bitch.
well, and if you actually listen to the stories of the past, man, they straight. I mean, look what Lilith said to the 7-headed dragon at the river. Bring back the giants of old.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That's true. So
Hello, Lilith, first Eve, Adam's first wife. Bring back.
are they literally um so are we made from Adam and Eve maybe and just genetically manipulated to be smaller?
So no, I'm a firm believer that Adam and Eve was created separately from us. I think there's something different. Now, has their genetics been passed down to us at some point in time? Yes. But I think our original part of our ancestors that came to this planet were made on this planet. Um, crossbreeding. That's the thing. See, like I can't stand racist people. I just can't because I'm sorry. There's no pure blood left on this planet. Humans have been on this planet for eons. I mean, generations and generations and generations. DNA gets swapped through the contact of all those generations. Prime example was the leading theory that's almost pretty much has been proven was the cause of the fall of Neanderthal. And that was Homo sapien breeding Neanderthal out. Well, Neanderthal also bred with the Denisovan. You're seeing 3
Right.
different types of life forms right there. Right there, breeding with each other, breeding each other out. That's 3 different types of DNAs. So I believe Adam and Eve was a certain type, not like us, but a certain type. And then through the generations, through multiple breedings, through bloodlines and stuff passed down, we have possibly had gotten part of their DNA within us.
My headache just got worse.
Yeah. I mean,
so basically,
prime example. What do we have,
go ahead.
but we don't have? So I'm going to ask everybody a biology question here. So riddle me this, chat. What do we have, but we don't have? And
Sorry, I'm making more coffee.
A tailbone. We have a tailbone, but no tail.
I like Bigfoot dwarfs answer. I have no problem with jungle fever.
Oh crap! Come on, dog! You're messing me up. Get down! Get down! You're too damn big to be in my lap. Sorry, guys. Boar's being boar. Yeah. Chicken whack wow. Oh, but I'm serious. I mean, think about it. Why would we have a tailbone if we've never had a tail at one point in time? You know,
Well, I mean, is it because we had a tail, or is it because of just something
There you
else? I mean, there's
Could it be
a guy
genetics?
there's a guy that drives a certain transport bus here locally, and he's got. I'm trying to think of the villain in the Justice League, the one that came from space. I can't remember his name, but he had like the spikes on his elbows and stuff. There's literally a genetic mutation out there that it's cartilage that grows out from your elbow, and it's just a genetic mutation, and maybe, just maybe, that's not a tail. Maybe that's just excessive calcium.
If I didn't study biology, I could probably agree with you on that. But being as I've studied biology, I've seen the skeleton, a real life skeleton, worked with a real life skeleton. I can tell you that's both. That's kind of where I was thinking too, Josh. Doomsday.
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah, I think it was Doomsday. But yeah, I mean, the guy literally, I mean, as long as this spoon jutting out of his elbow on one arm looks like a spike coming out, like the spike on a rhinoceros, and it happens. There are mutations out there, unfortunately, that do happen to humanity to cause these things. And maybe, just maybe, I mean, I've never had the urge to that I would have a tail. I mean, if we didn't come from monkeys, that whole tail thing, I don't think it holds a whole lot of water. I really don't. Whether it's reptilian related or monkey related. So I just don't think it holds a lot of water.
Homo erectus. First monkey to walk upright, Homo erectus.
Then you're getting back to the whole Adam and Eve thing. So basically, that would separate us. That would separate us from being part of the Garden of Eden.
Yep, that's kind of where I'm at. I think we're separate. I am sorry, Unreal. It's not your comment. It's not showing up here, so I'll read it. I have 2 Daryl spots that seem, according to the placement, like extra nipples, like on a cat or dog. For some reason, it's not showing up on our side where I can bring that up. And sadly, you're not the only one. Now that one's popping up, so why didn't that one pop up? Oh. That's actually, it's not common for that, but it's not uncommon either. It's just, it's one, I think that's a genetic, mainstream science, genetic defect that happens in like 1 in every 10 million, 100 million people.
Oh my God. Bigfoot dwarf, you're a riot.
They probably were, man, but you got to think about it. I mean, if we did evolve from Homo erectus, that explains why we had a tail.
Wrecked us, it damn near killed us.
Yeah. They don't need the blue pill.
Oh God. All right.
They woo.
Well,
but yeah, no, I mean, and that's kind of why I am, because I don't believe we actually came from Adam and Eve. Because even if you study Adam and Eve, it says when Cain was casted out, he went to the city to find a wife, which is where he ran into Lilith, the first Eve, Adam's first wife. That tells you right there was a civilization prior to Adam and Eve.
So basically, you're saying that giants were here prior to the fallen ones taking the daughters of men, finding them beautiful, and having offsprings that turned into Nephilim giants. So basically, the giants of old are different from the Nephilim, is what you're saying.
So yes, so the giant, there's different types of giants. There's Nephilim. Everybody puts them in the identification of a Nephilim. Sorry, a Nephilim was a type of giant. So there was many different types of giants. Nephilim were the types of giants that was the offspring between the Watchers And the fallen's different. You know, the fallen is not the watchers. The watchers are the watchers. The fallens are the ones that rebelled in heaven, was casted down. That's your fallen. The watchers are breeded with woman to create the Nephilim that we know of. There's many different types of giants. Now, could we have evolved from one type of those giants? Absolutely. You also listen to the ancient Samaria. It talks about when the Anunnaki breeded with the human women, their offspring were giants and unruly. It's the exact same thing that's in the Old Testament. The exact same thing. Yeah. So, but it's everybody jumps on the Nephilim bandwagon because that's a fun name to say, Nephilim. Well, let's be real, folks. There's more than just that. Sorry,
It's kind of like having a third nipple.
Yeah. The exact word for Nephilim is actually the Jewish word for giant. People forget that part. That is the Jewish word for giant, Nephilim. But everybody thinks it's a race. No, there was many types of different giants. Nephilim were just one type. They were the offspring of the Watchers and the human women. So,
And
that just don't fit don't fit the nowadays clickbait. So that is a good question, Soundwave. In every single historical document that's ever been written, and most of your civilizations throughout history talk about a flood, saying that the flood killed off most of them, but not all of them. Even in the Christian Bible, it says not all of the Nephilim were killed in the flood.
Okay, so that goes into saying that some of the research that some of us are doing in the Bigfoot field and finding a correlation to 6 fingers and 6 toes is different from other species of giants.
Yep. Not all of them had 6 fingers, 6 toes, and dual rows of teeth. There was different types. That's just one type. Now that's the most common one because that's the one
bringing
everybody
that up
talks about.
because I'm merely bringing that up because I want everybody to know where we're coming from with this, being different giants. Okay. It's like we said, I mean, giants don't necessarily have to be human in form either. They could have been, half animal, half human. They could have been snake-like. They could have been, it could have been any type of a form. So,
to my OGs that been subscribed to my channel the longest, what do I classify Bigfoot as? That is true, Roxanne. Absolutely, Josh. To the people who's been subscribed to my channel the longest, I'll tell you that I'm a firm believer that the Bigfoot are a type of giant. The reason why I say that is the height.
Poncho's been listening from the shadows and eating crab. Oh, man.
Oh, what are you eating today, Poncho? Poncho, what are you eating today? That's a very common thing there too, Joanne, actually. Especially if twins marry twins. There you go. I mean, and everybody's got their own opinions. I've got mine. The reason why I classify them as a giant, because literally that's what they are. They're a giant. Now, was that normal size for a certain time frame where we got smaller when we branched off from each other? Yeah, I can see that.
Well, then, you think about the whole red-haired giants things and the Lovelock Cave incident, with the Paiute. And the Paiute people had stories of red-haired warriors in their nation, in their tribe.
Yep.
So, they had to have had either some kind of connection to the giants prior to them becoming cannibals. Otherwise, they wouldn't have red-haired native people in their tribe.
Oh, yeah.
So
look at the Guardian, the Cherokee Guardian. Oh my God, his name slipped my mind. What was his name? Sukla, thank you. Sukla. He can jump from mountaintop to mountaintop. Now, did he have 6 fingers? Yes, he had 6 fingers. But look how tall he was. He was as tall as a mountain and could jump from mountaintop to mountaintop. There's another size of giant right there. The giants of Kandahar are not his size. The giants of Lovelock Cave are not his size. But we hear stories in the past of giants that size. There's many different types of giants, many different types, many different sizes.
Well, and that whole theory of multiple types of giants and stuff would make sense, especially if we are a cosmic zoo, if you think about it.
Exactly. Now, could the giants be the original inhabitants of this planet? Absolutely, they could have been. They 100% could have been. Are we a display that got loose from the zoo and ran rampant and we're like little roaches that take over everything? That's possible too.
Or did the zoo have to close down temporarily because of the flood, killing off the majority of the giants, which were the original animal life in this cosmic zoo, until we were created to repopulate the cosmic zoo?
Yep. Wizard, 100 on that, bro. Cloud eaters. We've talked about them many a times. Even the cynocephali dogmen could be classified as giant due to height. Exactly right, Josh. Yes, I agree. What is dogmen also known as? Another type of a first being.
And like I've always said in Lakota legend and in a lot of the other legends, we talk about Bear Man and how Bear Man was actually is separate from the Bigfoot species, which is kind of why I don't like to put Gugway within the Bigfoot species. I think it's totally separate, but that's just my opinion.
I can't remember.
Being native.
There's only one tribe I've ever heard the story where they're classified the same, and that's when they split up into 2 different groups. And we have the Bigfoot that we know of today and the Gugway we know of today. Because one group wanted to hunt and eat humans, the other group wanted to leave them alone and be left alone. I don't remember what tribe that came from. But that is,
wasn't it Cree? Wasn't that the Cree legend?
It might be. You might be right on that one. Now that I think about it, you might be right, bro. I think that is the only one that talks about them in that manner.
Right.
Now, some people classify them as a dogman. I do not believe Gugway is a dogman. I believe it is a type of Bigfoot.
Yeah, agreed. I agree.
I
don't think it's. I think it's a different. I don't think it's a genetic match to a Bigfoot, but I think it is of that species, kind of like the bears branch off from brown bear to black bear to grizzly, and short-faced bear, maybe the original Bigfoot was like the short-faced bear and, larger, bigger, meaner, more dominant, and then the other species genetically mutated off of that and branched off from that. Maybe that's the same thing that happened. And maybe that's the same thing that happened with the giants, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Well, look at every single species on this planet has a relative that's similar to them, but not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't it be that way with giants?
True.
Why can't
Very
it be
true.
that way with Bigfoot, Dogman?
Yeah.
Every single look. How many species of dog you got? How many species of cat? How many species of fish? How many species of reptilian? The list goes on and on and on and on of all these multiple different types of species of something.
And that's just
You know?
what you know of.
Hey, Jason. Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Why are you not lighting up, you stupid computer? I must be getting ready to lose. There it goes. Now I get caught up where I was. There's not a lot of coordination when we place the Gugwe in the Bigfoot category. People say Bigfoot are people, yet Gugwe are distinct ape-like, thus they cannot be a type of Bigfoot. The only reason why I kind of put it that way, Ryan, because there has been reports of them breeding with humans, which would still classify them in that, and that one Cree story about how they became what they are. Um, Obviously, we're genetically similar to be able to create offspring from each other.
Yeah. Soundwave, I did see your message, so I will. I'll look that up for that pictures and stuff that you want to send me, or the information, whatever it was. Just so you know, I did get that message. So
Okay, good, because that's chat between the chat people talking and then my computer acting up. I've kind of I know I've missed some.
yeah.
No worries, Jason.
But anyways, it's been a long week, and a tragic week too, with everything that's happened. And I know everybody's emotions have been up and down lately, especially with what's going on um, around the world. Um, to our brothers and sisters in the UK, and Canada, hang in there. Um, your freedoms are definitely worth fighting for, and standing up for your rights. Don't let anybody dictate to you that you don't have the right to speak and the right to protect yourselves and your family. Okay. And that's merely my opinion. So that and $1.50 might get you a cup of coffee at a gas station. I'm not going to say the quality of it, but it is what it is. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to have a show tomorrow morning, Eric. And I say that because I'm kind of, I'm still processing a lot for the Sunday show, and I've got a lot of homework to do. Let's put it that way. To my family and friends that are out with the ECBRO right now, Daniel, David, Melissa, um, you know, John Nicely and his wife. I hope you guys. Oh, we lost Eric. We lost Eric. Well, I want to wish everybody on ECBRO a camp out that they have a good time. And if I can get there this week, maybe one day overnight, I will. And Eric's trying to come back on. You got kicked off, man.
Yeah, I knew it was about to happen the way the computer was acting.
So, anyways, why don't you tell them what you got going on this weekend, Eric, and then I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up and let everybody know. Sunday is going to be the show you won't want to miss. Supernatural Sunday, just so you guys know. Carl, if you want to come on and talk about things, Soundwave, Joanne, Corey, anything supernatural, you guys, Poncho want to talk about. Roxanne, Urso, thank you as always. My mods in the chat, you guys rock. And Roxanne's probably going to get revenge on Eric sometime this weekend. So, but anyways, that being said, I don't know if I'm going to have a show tomorrow morning. I'll try to. It depends on how I feel, but I'm a little overwhelmed right now. And but definitely Sunday morning, Eric, we'll have one. Supernatural Sunday. So, and I've got some information I want to put out for Sunday that I've kind of disclosed a little bit of it already on Facebook, but not all of it. And it's just interesting to me, and I think it's something that we need to talk about too. So, but let everybody know what you got going on, Eric.
So, well, I'm playing catch up right now because I've been working a lot of hours, so I'm like way behind. Um, to my INR readers on Patreon, look for a new book I did drop. I'm about finished with it. It's called Legios 9 Hispania, the Caledonian Forest, talking about the ninth that disappeared in Britain. In my theories on it, due to the research of what little information was given out about them from found journal entries of Titus, the Primus Pellus Titus. So we're going to be basing that book's going to be based off of that. Saturday is my campfire chats there. Yes, it's a safe place for you to come on and talk about your encounters. You want to come on live, man. If you just want to talk about it in chat, we'll talk about it in chat. If we don't have a lot of encounters coming up, we usually pick a topic and just talk about it. It's just like we're sitting around the campfire having, telling stories, having a good time. Sunday, I have special guest Jesus Payon Jr. coming on, and we're going to be talking about elementals. That's something that we've touched on. We haven't looked into a whole lot, but it's something that is elementals is tied to pretty much every culture in the world. And if you study the elementals from every culture in the world, they're pretty much the same thing. I mean, down and dirty of it, they're the same thing. There really ain't no difference between them. The look is about the only difference, really. So elementals is going to be our topic. It's going to be good having him back on. I've missed having him on, but he's been busy, so I've been wanting to kind of mess with him a whole lot. I almost double booked because the paranormal team that I was going to have on a couple weeks ago that had the technical difficulties is wanting to come on Sunday. I was like, I've already got someone booked, so we're looking at possibly next week or the week after having them on. That's pretty much it besides just working my honey off. Yeah, busy. Like I said, I got this when I transfer positions, I'll be working a lot more hours, and I'm working a lot more hours.
Okay. If we do decide to come on in the morning, I'll let everybody know. And if I do, it probably won't be a 3-hour show like normal, so it'll be, shorter. But it depends. Depends on how I feel. I'm feeling kind of rough right now, so but I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank the mods. You guys are fantastic. The comments that the chat has been phenomenal tonight. And believe it or not, I was actually able to read a few of them.
Yeah.
But definitely Sunday morning. Okay, guys, at 11 a.m. Definitely. And what else you got, Eric? Anything?
Oh, yeah. So I got me something that I tried out, and I'll tell you what, I'm a damn believer of it now. I got me a grounding mattress for my bed. Because I for years and years and years, I wake up stiff, can't hardly move, can't hardly sleep. Y'all, the 1 week I've had this grounding mattress, oh my God, I can't believe the difference in my sleep pattern. I can actually get up out of bed with going, because I can't hardly move.
Right.
Dude, grounding is important, folks. And if you want to ground when you sleep, get a grounding mattress. Holy crap. That has been a game changer this last week for me.
You want to ground really good one night? Get out there and under a full moon and sleep in your skivvies on the ground. That's grounding. So,
dude, I ain't felt this good in years, bro. Years. I ain't felt this good. I can't believe how good because I've done, like you said, grounded on nature, but I wanted to take that to the next level. So I've been doing this research on grounding while you sleep. So I was like, man, I've got to try it. Holy crap, dude. Just
that's
wow,
why
my energy's
a lot of people I know actually put copper tubing like 1/4 inch water tubing between their box springs and their mattress, and then they lay crystals in there too. So when they sleep, or selenite. Selenite is another one that they put in there, and they use that for grounding and stuff and clarification when they
Well,
sleep.
for a prime example, I mean, look, how many times I've done the show with you where, man, I was just dog tired because I've just been running nonstop until we did the show. And I'm dog tired now, but I still got energy. I mean, if that don't tell you what this thing's done for me in 1 week period, I mean, come on, folks. So I'm a believer in get yourself a grounding mattress for your bed. I put it in there, Roxanne. I got it off of Amazon. But yeah, wow. It's even helped my knee because I re-hurt my knee, and I spent one day. I had to miss Thursday at work because I was re-hurt. Just in a couple of days of using that mattress for this knee injury, I was back at work doing a 13-hour day laying hot mix asphalt today. I mean, did I still hurt because of being on my feet for 13 hours a day? Yeah, I still kind of hurt, but not to the level that I was.
Yeah. I like Main House's comment there. Outside grounding in PJs. Very true.
I better not
Jason,
comment on that one, Maine. Let's just say I'm all natural.
yeah, and Jason, thank you for that comment, man. We try, and
Yeah.
it's not easy to keep on going. What do you think if we do a show tomorrow? Maybe we do it about the Mongolian death worm.
That's, man. I got mixed feelings on that. Yeah. Yeah.
Just a thought.
That wouldn't be
Just a
bad.
thought,
Yeah.
because you don't hear too much talk about it anymore.
You don't.
So
Yeah. No, you don't. And I'm hoping this knee is better tomorrow because I got to get my ass back out in the woods and replace the batteries in my game cams. Oh, I will have another motorcycle talk along with me riding video. I done some recording the other day when I was riding again. People seem to really like that motorcycle video I did, so we'll be having another one of those coming out soon too.
I don't think anybody's actually gotten the Mongolian death worm. I know that there's been several investigations done out there, but the only thing I really know about it is that it spits acid and that basically it's attracted to red and yellow. Which is pretty much all that I know about it, and that it's just a big worm like a slug, but like 8 to 10 feet, maybe even 12 feet long.
Yeah, that's the theory of the sandworms. No, never mind. I'm thinking of sandworms. Never mind. Scratch that. Wrong worm. Yet again, another type of species. That's many different types of them.
And every time I talk about the Mongolian death worm too, or think about it, I think of the movie Tremors. I don't know why. I just think of the movie Tremors.
Yeah. Oh God, I ain't seen that. The first one was great. The other ones were crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first one was phenomenal.
Yeah. That was a good movie. Another one I miss is Monster Squad. Wolfman has nards. I miss Monster Squad. I watched I watched Queen of the Damned the other night when I couldn't sleep, or when I was hurt and couldn't move around, and I couldn't find the Vampire's Diary or Interview with a Vampire, but I found Queen of the Damned. I was like, dude, I gotta watch this. Of course, I was watching a lot of Roman, movies too, and that's where I got my my idea from the book.
You better be careful. Those late night movies that make you scared. You don't want to get scared.
I ain't scared. I'm fluffy.
All right, everybody. We'll see about tomorrow morning. Okay. Like I said, it depends on how I feel. I gotta get through a few things. And if we do come on, it'll be about the Mongolian death worm. And also the Travis Walton experience too. I want to talk a little bit about that. So, anyways, as always, everybody, question everything. You have that right. Stay strong, stay faithful, and if I don't see everybody tomorrow morning, I will see everybody tomorrow afternoon in the chat with Eric's show, and I'll see everybody Sunday morning for Supernatural Sunday. Okay, which is going to be a pretty good one. Okay, we got a lot to talk about. So, that being said, good night, everybody.
Peace,
Thank
love.
you for being here.
Jason, that comment gets a.
Through the mist we rise, a force unbroken, with banners high and hearts awoken. The sound of pipes, our war is calling. Like thunderous waves, our duty is falling. Stand tall, together we fight, with courage found in every breath. We'll fight like lions, defy our death. In unity our hearts shall sing the legacy of warriors through every reign. With battle cries we forge our fate, in fields of valor we elevate. As shadows loom